Hello guys, so today I'm going to be talking about handguards in the zombie apocalypse. Now, let's say you're at the store, you're looking on the shelf, and you're wondering, what sword should I buy? And you've seen a few other videos on zombie weapons, and you saw most of those swords didn't have handguards. And you may have seen some people prefer not to use handguards on their swords. And the reason for that is, well, they figure, well, zombies aren't fighting you with swords or weapons, you know, they're just biting at you. And handguard just, you know, adds more weight to it, makes it, I guess, maybe not balanced for the way you want. You want more blade heavy, less handle heavy, so that you can, you know, chop through their heads. It's perfectly cool. Or you just, you know, you don't need that extra tool. Well, there are a few reasons, I think, at least, you should really consider going with a handguard. The first issue is safety. Now you may think, oh, I'm not going to be stabbing too often in the zombie apocalypse, so if I stab, there's not really a chance my hand's going to slide forward onto the blade. Well, first of all, you never know when you're going to be stabbing. Like, you might want to stab through a zombie's head if you're in like a narrow space, or you're fighting another survivor. You might want to stab, and you never know what could happen. Like, I remember I once was about to stab like a box I had placed up, and for some reason I just stabbed way too low, and I hit like a piece of wood, and my hand came forward and hit my guard so hard it actually skinned a part of my thumb. Now imagine how much worse it would have been if I didn't have my hand guard. It would have been pretty bad, right? It would have been much worse. Another reason you want to have a hand guard on your sword, well, is because even though the zombies are just biting you, like, it acts as another piece of metal that gets between you and the zombies, as like a little metal shield or like a wall. Especially if you have one like I do with the round protection like this. You know, you never know when they're going to want to bite down your blade or something of that nature. It's another wall. Another reason I think a handguard is a huge advantage is because you can use it as like a hammer or a pickaxe and just crush straight through the zombies' heads, you know, if you grab the blade. And yes, you can grab a sharp blade as long as your hands don't slide. And yes, it takes a lot of practice. Don't just try that out one day. Do it carefully, slowly, work your way up. But you can also, you know, you can punch like this. And then a pommel, you can also hit them with the pommel. So that's always a great option. Personally, long swords like this are my all-around favorite swords to use, partially for that reason. You know, you get the good punching action. What are some more reasons that you might want to have a handguard? Well, who said you're only going to be fighting zombies? You never know when you're going to end up fighting another survivor, and you may end up with a survivor who has a sword themselves. And if the other survivor, if the other guy fighting you, attacking you, whatever, happens to also have a blade, you're definitely going to want hand protection. To me, I just think handguard is always a good idea. You know, I don't think just because you're in the zombie apocalypse means you don't necessarily need a handguard. You might be able to use a handguard to, like, strike a piece of flint if you want to start a fire rather than damaging your blade. That might work. There are all sorts of uses for the handguard. Again, if a zombie comes at you, you can hook it from behind the neck, take it down, hook behind the leg, take it down behind the knee, and then just that, or half sword like this, yeah, if you grab the sword up by the blade, of course, you can get less flexibility, more power. You're stabbing straight in. So yeah, those are some reasons I would really recommend using a handguard, not just in the zombie apocalypse, but in any situation. It's a useful tool. Thanks for watching, and auf Wiedersehen.